Hello? Hello, hello, testing. Hello? Am I audible? Hello? 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 Hello, testing. Is it okay? Hello? Hello, testing. Hello? 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 Testing, testing, hello? 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 Blur आ रही picture. Hello? 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 ये वायर शायद बहुत दिख रही है यार. वायर ना बहुत दिख रही है.
अटक रही है.
दिख रही है बहुत ज़्यादा.
दिख रही है.
इसको निकालो आप. हाँ बिल्कुल ही अंदर से ले आएंगे.
अच्छा.
समझ लो. हाँ. इसको बंद कर दो एक बार. Hello, testing. Hello, 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 testing. Thanks. तो आप इसको लॉन्च आप ऑफ करो. यहाँ से ऑन रहेगा.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hi. I welcome you all to the launch of XOLO's new series. We're going to be live on our social media handles. And so do send your pictures and tweets with the hashtag JustMe on our Twitter handle @myXOLO. I would now welcome Mr. Sunil Raina to come on the stage and unveil the phones for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ridhima. Am I audible? Okay. Thank you so much. I think wonderful to have all of you here today. And many thanks for joining us today. I'd also like to thank all those people who have logged in on our social handles and are watching live this particular launch. Thanks a lot. Just need a flicker. Okay, so like Ridhima said, we are here today to launch a completely unique set of phones, something that we conceptualized after a lot of research in the market, after meeting our customers, trying to understand what their needs are, what is it that we can do to fulfill the real needs that they have. So though we are meeting after a very long time, many people I just met outside asked me, why is it that you're launching something after a very long time? We have been launching phones, but just that we are meeting after a very long time. Though we are meeting after a long time, but our philosophy remains the same. The philosophy has not changed. The philosophy of providing our customers smart technology. Technology for us and for everybody, it can do many things. But the trick lies in making sure the technology that you offer is relevant to the consumers you are targeting. But technology is a space which gives you a lot of possibilities. However, for those technologies to be valuable, it is important that we are able to completely marry it with the needs of the consumers. That's where technology becomes very useful and very valuable for the consumers. That's what we very strongly believe in, that smart technologies that are rooted in consumer understanding, that are valuable to our consumers, is something that we very strongly believe in. Our design language has been appreciated all through, right from the beginning. We have been focused on design per se. Our devices are of a certain design which we believe are liked by a set of consumers, and that's what we keep updating ourselves on to make sure that we are able to do better and better on that front. Outstanding value, in fact, one of the theories that generally people talk about is that price is very important to customers. So this is something that you get to hear a lot. But we realized that it's not the price that is important to the consumers, it's actually the value which is important to the consumers. Therefore, in our conversations that we have internally, whenever we conceptualize a product, we do not look at the price point, but we look at the consumer and define a value point. So instead of defining a price point, we define a value point, which means that you don't have to go through the process of elimination by conceptualizing a product for a particular consumer. So if at a 5,000 rupees you have a consumer who has a certain need which cannot be compromised just because you want to keep it at 5,000 rupees, we do not do that. What we would rather do is that consumer, we believe, is willing to pay a little more, provided the value that you're giving, a particular feature that you're giving, is extremely valuable to him. So therefore, for us, value points are more important than just the price points. And that's a philosophy that we have been having from day one. XOLO was born some 5 years back, and this philosophy continues to be very dear to us, something that we strongly believe in. Like I said, our philosophy, if I have to sum it up, it is to provide outstanding value to our customers by deeply understanding them. So we'll just, after this, I'm going to take you through some slides of how we have been able to come up with the propositions that we have today, that I'm going to present you today, through extensive research and through extensive consumer understanding. So who is this XOLO customer? So we are not, like all of know, we are not a mass brand. We don't have 1,000 rupees phones. We do not have 50,000 rupees phones. So we restrict ourselves to a certain segment of customers, And these customers are very aspiring customers. They are young people. They are in the age group of 18 to 27 years. They are mostly in colleges or doing their early jobs. That's the kind of customer we look at. And we're also very focused on the urban areas. We're not really looking at going to rural areas. We are focused on metros, tier 1, tier 2 consumers. And that's where we are able to go very sharp and very focused on the consumer that we want to address. And for us, apart from the demographics that I just spoke about, for these consumers, technology is an integral part of their life. Technology is something that they buy things for. It's not, they may not buy a mobile phone for the looks of it, but they'll definitely buy it for the technology that it has and the value that technology brings to that particular person. So we have seen generational shifts happening from time to time. And these generation shifts primarily happen in the behavior of the people. So we all have heard about Generation X, which I belong to, right? And our Generation X was a stability-seeking person, somebody who felt responsible about himself, family, society, and somebody who believed in working with a lot of people, creating things together. Somebody who was very security conscious also, so therefore would not take too many risks, and was able to manage time. So he was able to have time for himself, for his family, for society. There was somebody who was able to balance that piece very well. Then we moved to Generation Y, which is also called them millennials. The Generation Y, in terms of behavior, changed a few parameters. For example, they believed in a lot of hard work, but at the same time, they also believe in play, fun. They also want to have fun after they have finished their work. They're very creative in terms of what they want to do. They want to do things differently. They want to have, they have a mind of their own. And they're also very highly achievement oriented. So they are ambitious. They want to do things. They want to change things around. They also appreciate speed. That was not so much true for the previous generation that we just spoke about. So these are the differentiators between the Generation X and Generation Y. But however, you will realize that the generational definitions are not so constant. And we have seen in the last 10 years, even within this Generation Y, the shift in behavior has happened dramatically. And a new set of generation has emerged on the scene. And that generation has primarily moved in behavior with just one thing in their hand. And that is the smartphone. Smartphone has made a shift from Generation Y to the new generation that I'm going to talk about very rapidly, because that's a device that enables them to have a certain behavior. So we came up with a term for that. This is something that we are going to talk about today. And we call this generation a Generation Me. So this generation is something that in the last 10 years has been growing very rapidly, and also all thanks to the smartphone, that piece of technology that you have in your hand. So that's really transformed the generation to a completely new scenario now. Now let's understand what this Generation Me is like, who these people are, what is it, how are they different from the current millennials that we are talking about. So we also looked at, when we did our understanding of the Generation Me and tried to figure out how does it translate itself into the mobile devices that they use. So what is it that they value the most? Because it's about Generation Me, so we realized that why not talk to them? Why not go back to them and understand what is it that they do with the smartphones? So we reached out to a lot of people, reached out to hundreds of people, and tried to understand how they use smartphones, especially the camera feature in the smartphones. And we collected thousands and thousands of pictures from them. We actually, went through their entire gallery of photographs to understand what is it that constitutes the bulk of the activity on cameras that happens there. So though we had some idea about that, okay, selfies would be the big thing, which turned out to be the big thing, but we did not imagine it to be as big. And we also had this notion that perhaps there is a certain gender, in terms of preference for selfies. But I think surprisingly, this scenario came across in entire spectrum. It was this equally popular in males as it was in females. Therefore, that was one surprising point for us. Now, another thing that was very interesting is, they would, whenever you looked at their selfies, you would have one pose with 5 different pictures. Same pose in 5 different pictures. So when we spoke to these people, we did a lot of group discussions to understand why does this happen. So we realized that they are not happy. They are not happy with the output that the camera gives them on the selfies, right? So, for example, the problems that they spoke about, that was that sometimes there's a picture in which the face gets completely washed out. The face looks very unnatural to them. And when they're trying to click pictures from a distance, their face gets blurred. Or problems like, very dark pictures come. And let me tell you, this particular research that we did was done only among customers who buy brands which are available only online. So this has not been done with the brands which are offline. So this has primarily been done online because we are an online player. Therefore, we wanted to see, is there some issue that or some need that we can address of consumers who we are targeting. So these are the key challenges that we came across when we spoke to these people. Okay, so this time around, what we thought is that we will not make you wait till the end to show you the phones. Right? That's what typically happens, right? I'm sure you got already bored of that method. Now, I'm going to show you the phones right away, and then we will go through each phone one by one to see what it is that each phone has to offer. So let me just show you these phones right away. So we have 3 phones, like I said today, that we are going to launch. The first phone is Era 3. So this is the Era 3 phone that we are launching today. In terms of price point, it's on the lowest price point among these 3 phones. So this is the one. So this is called Era 3. The other phone in my hand is Era 2V. So this is the one in the middle, so higher than this one. This is Era 2V. There's a picture there. And the one which is on the higher side of price is the Era 3X. So these are 3 phones that we are launching today. Now you might wonder, what is it that is special about these phones? I have given you so much understanding of what our customers are wanting, what is it that they look for in a phone. So the first feature in all these phones that we have is the moonlight flash feature. Like we saw in the previous slides, that what people are complaining about is that when they click pictures, what typically happens with a normal flash is that because the flash falls on one particular area of you, it completely washes that out. It completely takes the colors off that particular picture. So with the moonlight functionality, the flash glows continuously, which means the flash does not go off, or it does not just click only at the time when you're clicking the picture, but it's consistently glowing. That's one. Second, it also spreads the light uniformly. Like I said, in the normal flash, the flash falls on one particular area of your face, and then rest of the area actually gets darked out. So in this feature, if you see, this is a real picture shot on XOLO phone. This is the actual picture that has been clicked. If you see, the flash is not only on the face, it just makes the environment also look better with the moonlight feature. And of course, the images are also balanced, which means the color tone, etc. It's all all retained in the picture as real. I think while I've said these things, it might be a good idea to just show it to you actually how this actually works in toughest of the light conditions. So I have Vinay sitting in the audience. Vinay is my colleague. He is in charge of the product at XOLO. So he came up with this idea that, okay, let's just show them live how good this phone is in different light conditions. So I think this is a dim light, right? This is the dimmer environment right now. So let's now try the moonlight selfie in this particular lighting area. In fact, they have dimmed it a little more, which is good.
Yeah.
Vinay, over to you.
Thanks, Sunil. Thanks a lot. So I'm with right now Gaurav from NewsX. So he will be my selfie partner today. So one more.
So if you see,
So Gaurav, I mean, I just like to have the Gaurav comment actually. So
let me just zoom in a bit. All right, looks good. So I mean, yeah, these are the problem that typically one faces. That if we are in focus, then the background is like little less exposed, you're overexposed. So balance is the key, and it looks good.
yeah. So over to Sunil.
yeah. So if you see, I think what I was trying to say is that when you have spot flashes, it only shows the face of that particular person. Now in this picture, if I can go back, if it's possible to go back to that picture, if you see the people who are standing behind you are completely in the dark area, and in this picture they are very clearly visible. If you see the people who are standing behind you, even they are also visible in the picture. So therefore it does not put the flash on just that particular area which you are clicking, but also makes the entire picture look better, brighter, and it retains all the skin tones, etc., that you have naturally. Now, when we were planning to do this demo, I told him, okay, let's stop here because this is a very harsh lighting condition. This is the lowest that you can get to, but I don't think Vinay was very happy with that. Because he has worked on the product, he is very confident that he can even test it out in a much lower lighting conditions as well. So I think, Vinay, over to you now. It's your test to prove what you were telling us.
Yeah. So can we have the more darker light, please?
There is practically no light in the room right now.
So this is the condition where there is no light at all, and the moonlight is focusing uniformly on all the subjects.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you, Vinay. Okay, we just saw that these phones, all the three phones that I just showed to you today, they click great selfies, and they click great selfies in low light, and let me tell you, they also click great selfies in absolutely no light. So we have a zone behind you later on, and you would go into that zone. It's completely darked out, and you can try and click a selfie there, and we realize that the picture that we just clicked, it's going to be as good and as great as you see there. So great selfies in low light as well as no light. That's the key proposition of these phones. So we also gave out the phone to some of the people who are professional in photography, and we thought we gave it out to them, and we asked them to go to different places, click pictures, and come back to us and give us your feedback on how the pictures are coming out. So if you see the pictures that they clicked, you will see there is natural color tone. There is no change in the color tone, skin tone of the person who has been clicked here. No washed out faces. All those things. It just retains the naturalness of the person in that picture as well. Similarly, you have when you click indoor, that was an outdoor photo. Even in indoor, there are sharper and brighter images. The accuracy of the colors is great. So we have the blue glass filter in this particular lens in camera, so which also removes extra colorful shades and therefore makes the picture very crisp and very clear. Okay, so how is this possible? How are we able to provide such great selfie camera? It's thanks to all these features that we have on the hardware side. So there's a moonlight flash, which is a different type of flash that we have used, which kind of makes sure that even in the darkest of the conditions you are able to click great pictures. We are using the larger lens in the cameras. We're using good quality sensors, and there is blue glass filter which I just spoke about. Okay, so these are some of the other samples of different light conditions. These are people who we had given it to, and they came back with their pictures. And if you see, this is a highly low light picture, and if you see the colors, etc., are very natural. Nothing has been washed out. Everything looks clear. Similarly, even in the outdoor conditions, you will see the color retention, the naturalness of the pictures is retained completely. This is a repeat of these pictures if you want to see them much closer. Okay, now coming back to one phone at a time. So the first phone that I showed to you was Era 3. So Era 3 comes with an 8 megapixel front camera and a 5 megapixel rear camera. So not just in terms of the features of how great selfies can be clicked, we have also flipped it to say that because people value the front camera so much, and a lot of good work has been done in the rear camera, which anyways is going to be part of this proposition. But I think this important thing now, when we were taking this decision, we had two choices. One is what everybody is doing, is what industry is doing. Everybody makes rear camera bigger than the front camera. But when we looked at the consumers and we looked at what they're clicking, what is it that they do with the camera phones, we realized that we have to either go with the consumers' knowledge or we have to go with what everybody else is doing. I think the decision was taken. It might sound bold, but we took the decision to say we will go with what consumers are asking us to do. So that's why we flipped it. We have an 8 megapixel front camera. We have a 5 megapixel rear camera. It's a 5-inch HD display a device. Comes with 1 GB RAM and 8 GB ROM. And it is going to be priced. Usually you would have seen any moonlight flash phone which are there out in the market are maybe more than 15,000 rupees price, right? And you will have moonlight feature in this particular device, which is going to cost you, sorry, okay, so I think the price here, let me reveal the price itself. The price of this device is going to be 4,999. It's a 5,000 rupees device, comes with a moonlight flash, comes with 8 megapixel front camera, comes with 5 megapixel rear camera, and it's a HD display. So all of it in just 5,000 rupees. Coming on to the next one, Era 2V. So what does it have? It again has a 13 megapixel front camera. It's got an 8 megapixel rear camera. It comes with a fingerprint sensor, 5-inch HD display, 2 GB RAM, and 16 GB ROM. Okay, so all of this and the moonlight selfie feature that we just spoke about, just for 6,499. A 13 megapixel front camera, 8 megapixel rear camera, and so many features at just 6,499. Let's go to the last one, the third one. this is Era 3X. So Era 3X comes with 13 megapixel front camera, 13 megapixel rear camera. It's got a fingerprint scanner. It comes with 3 GB RAM, comes with 16 GB ROM. It's a 5-inch HD device and comes with Corning Gorilla Glass 3. We have friends from Corning also here. Thank you so much for helping us. Great, thank you. So all of this has been packed and packaged in a highly attractive price, and that price is 7499. So there is so much that we have been able to bung it in, and also the high-end features, and all of this is going to come to you at only 7,499 rupees. Okay, in terms of where can you find it, where can you buy it, this is going to be available on Flipkart starting 14th of October at 00 hours. So all the 3 phones will be exclusively available on Flipkart. Kunal Verma from Flipkart is here. So Kunal, thank you so much. I think it's going to be a great selfie journey from here on. Right? Thank you. So all these will be available. So today we announced it. On 14th, people can buy at midnight around 00 hours. People can go and start purchasing all these 3 devices exclusively on Flipkart. Okay, we also have one add-on to all of this. So there will be a 365 days one-time screen replacement offer on all these phones, right? And that's it. Thank you so much. We wanted to keep it short, and we value the time that you have, so that we don't have to take you through the entire 1-hour presentation. We want to make it crisp so that you get all the information packed in short period of time. And thank you so much. Thank you for coming here today. And now we are open for questions. So after we are done with the questions, there is a demo zone behind you. You can just go there, experience the products yourself. And then there's a moonlight zone, which is completely pitch dark. You can go there, click pictures and test the devices for yourself and test the functionality that we are providing there. So now we are on for the Q&A, so all yours. These will be Android N. Oh good, yeah. Yeah, so we are using MediaTek 6737 in all the 3 phones. The higher two will have 6737A, and the one is 6737. Oh yes, I think battery, the Era 3, which is the lowest one, comes with 2500 battery. Era 2V comes with 3000 mAh battery, and Era 3X also comes with 3000 mAh battery. Any more questions? So Hive is going to be, this will come with Hive UI. So in terms of whether it will be the Hive UI that we used in Black and Black 1X, it will not be that. It will be the much trimmer version of Hive, because in these devices you don't want to load so much, and you also want to have great consumer experience. Therefore, we have kept it light so that the usability is better. Okay, thank you so much. I think it's all yours. You can just have a look at the devices behind you. And thank you for joining us today. Pleasure.
I would request everyone to please go ahead towards Moonlight Zone to experience the pitch dark ambience of the phone. Thank you. Guys, the lunch is being served now. I would request everyone to please proceed. Thank you.